I'm that guy
That one guy.
that does the blink and yawning stuff with the horse, Jim Masterson. What we're doing here is, what I do now is train people how to do the Masterson Method in this type of body work, which follows responses from the horse. It's something you do with the horse. And it's something that anybody can learn to do with their horse. And we teach weekend courses for people to learn how to do these techniques on their horse to release tension, improves their relationship with their horse because they're actually working with the horse. They're listening what the horse has to say. So they learn a lot more about their horses often than they were expecting. Probably thinking, I won't let that happen. Oh, that time didn't. I was trying to push and it didn't. So I got one little sideways movement in a relaxed state, which is good enough for me.
I heard about Masterson Method from a vet who actually did me a huge favor by coming to give me a second opinion on my horse. I was just kind of playing around with my horse and just bladder meridian, and I didn't really believe it at first, and I was like, I don't know, it sounds like voodoo to me. But I started doing it and I was like, oh wow, this works. And then hooked.
Your mental shelf. I have a big mental shelf. Well, actually, I think I have a small mental shelf because I put stuff on it and then the stuff keeps falling off the back because it's pretty narrow. It's the penguin story. So. It's the iceberg thing, you know.
Yeah, so mostly we've been focusing on getting her physically better so that she could accept the training because she just wasn't wanting to do anything. She just doesn't feel good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So that's what I was talking about. You got to spend a lot of time on the psoas, on the sacrum, release anything that releases tension on the sacrum and in the groins. And you got to do the front end too because they're connected. You know, a lot of times in here has to do with what's going up in the groin. So that she would be a good one for somebody to just take their time and, you know, get through the front end lightly and then get up back there and just to see what lets go. Well, everything we're working on in the body is caused by something, same as humans. But with horses it's a little different because a lot of times an owner doesn't recognize that feet might be causing tension in the body. A saddle fit, poor saddle fit might be causing tension. The way the horse is being ridden might be causing tension. And so as a human, when we have something that's creating a tension in our body, we can say something about it. We can go do something about it. We can go to the therapist. We can go to the chiropractor. Horses don't have that option. You know, they're programmed to just cover it up and get on with life because out in the wild, if they start to, show signs of being a little off in the wild, then they're the target. So they're naturally programmed just to cover it up and keep on going. And so they'll do that when, with riders and owners and trainers, they just cover it up and keep on going until it reaches the point where it really starts to bother them. And then the only way they can tell it, the only way they can express it is to misbehave. They all of a sudden they start to crossfire behind. They start to switch canterleads behind, and so the owner might think, well, he's misbehaving. Well, horses don't get together at night in the barn and say, hey, tomorrow let's start swapping behind. Let's not bend to the right tomorrow just for fun. They don't do that. They do it for a reason. So a lot of times what somebody might think is a behavioral issue or a training issue, there's a physiological component to it. And this angle here corresponds to this angle here. If they start changing these angles, it's going to put pressure inside or outside the TMJ. The hunter's bumps comes when this roaches up and the sacrum gets pulled down and this gets stretched out up. These ligaments get stretched out. So you'll have these coming up or spreading out from tension pulling on them from the continual jumping or whatever job they're doing, where they're not conditioned enough to handle that. The horse will do anything you want it to. Doesn't mean, if it's not fit enough and conditioned well enough, that kind of stuff's gonna happen. Let her feel that. Let's see what she feels like on the other side.
for people that have a lot of a horse experience, and even the people that don't have a lot of horse experience. This is such a great program that can, even if they're not riders, you can get involved and you can help these animals. We've done a lot of it with the fire rescues in Sonoma County. We've gone up to the fairgrounds with the 4-H group, and we've been able to help settle horses and calm them down. And I've been able to use the techniques on horses that are colicking and relieve some of their tension and their pain until the vet gets there. And so their outcomes, I think, probably, were a lot better than they would have been. So yeah, it's been quite the journey.
Yeah.
So what we're looking for here, Renee, is patterns of tension in the muscles that might help us gather information about what's causing what. It's not just about he's sore, she's sore here, we're going to need to make her feel better here. It's like adding all this information into the big picture of how is she using her body and what might be causing the soreness in the body. Because everything in the body is caused by something, whether it's just work or often there's other issues, like a sore foot or feet or saddle fit or dental issues. So if we can, in the process of making her feel better and move better, if we can help the owner find out what's causing it, then they can remedy the situation. Ideally, the pain won't come back from that issue. So we're gathering information, not just where is she sore so we can make her feel better there, but because how it all fits together. Yeah, it's like when you do the first technique or two, giving them a little time to feel what's going on makes it easier when you carry on, because they know it's going to feel good.
So I saw horses that were really not feeling good. They were really sore. They were grouchy. Lots of different things going on. And I was seeing the Masterson method change them and make them feel good and be happy. And it was, I wanted to be able to help my own horses. I have horses that have stuff. I mean, all horses have stuff, but instead of having to get on the phone and call somebody, I wanted to be able to just go ahead and take care of my own horses and help other ones that are around me. It's the stuff I've seen it do for horses is just really fabulous.
The cool thing about this method is we read what's going on with the horse's body as we're working on it. We look for physical cues, eye blinking, change of breathing, yawning. We feel for palpable cues. When you ask for parts of the horse, you go down the neck asking for movement in a relaxed state as you go down the neck. When you come to a spot where there might be tension, the horse was going to resist and brace against it. And when you feel that, you soften and the horse releases it. So the feedback we're getting from the horse, that's what makes this work. It's the feedback from the horse. And then let's see, make sure where is it? Oh, here we are. Go up here, make sure it's up here between the joint. That's the temporal bone, that's the mandible, so it's right through there.
Okay.
Yeah. So she reacts down here, but these are other nerves. What I'm really wanting to check down here might be something else. Yeah.
Okay.
What really I'm focusing on is the joint itself. Yeah. Yeah.
So a little bit. I've always enjoyed working with horses, and this just felt like a way to give back, and I feel like you're doing something really valuable.
We learn to start to recognize tension patterns in the body, because certain issues like foot issues or saddle fit or whatever will create certain tension patterns in the body. So we learn how to recognize. Sometimes it's not like clear, it's not like A plus B equals C, but you start to gather information that points to, you know, I think you might have an issue that needs a vet, you know, a lower foot and leg issue on one corner or the other. Find what's causing the problem. And so if they can remedy the problem, then the tension won't come back. I call it looks like a wishbone.
Yeah, dental
It's like a
floss.
wishbone.
Dental floss.
Yeah. So as their tongue's moving, you can kind of encourage that to move more. So that was good.
Well, it was interesting. The very first horse I worked on, Bella, a quarter horse, I was just staying on her hip point, and she dropped her nose to the ground and just kind of drug her nose on the ground, and then she got really woozy and kind of lost her balance, and I was actually kind of scared when that happened, and just kind of pat her out of it, and it was very powerful. And I was doing just the hip point, just that, just relaxing.
They can't do anymore. They're gonna want more help. So those are the questions. Do you guys want to work in the stalls, or do you want to work out in the arena? Stalls fine. Okay, stalls. What we're doing here is a final certification course for students that have gone through a training program that can last anywhere from 8 months to 2 years, or some people take even a little longer. But it's a pretty rigorous course of training that requires a lot of hands-on practice and a lot of hands-on instruction with instructors.
There's so many reasons to become a practitioner if you are seriously committed to doing the work and doing the field work. Yeah, it's just all over the map on the type of people that come, and that's what's so beautiful, is we have people with specialties. They're a Masterson practitioner, but they bring to it what it is that they're looking for to get out of it.
So that's what we're doing here. This group of 5 students have been through the grinder with us, but it's a fun grinder, and it's a grinder where you learn a lot. So, but it's a pretty rigorous training program, and they're here to finish up and get their certificates and take a deep breath of relief, Good job.
Yay, thank you
Good
so
job.
much.
Yeah. And this is Sandy's idea, is this little celebratory bottle of Prosecco, which at least one of you is going to have to open before we leave. Jane, congratulations. Well done. Flora, well done. Yeah.
Congratulations. You're welcome.
I'd say, is there a David in the crowd? Is there Dave? Oh yeah, there's Dave. Well done.
Right, thank you.
Yeah, good job. Yeah.
Congratulations.
So, are you guys all feel like complete? Or you feel dazed? You did a good job. So now you can really start, really, it's like, this is like the beginning, not the end. Hey! Good job.